Hi, this is Tony from NorCal E-Trail Riders. Today we're going to talk about chain waxing. Probably one of the biggest issues we have with our EMTBs is drivetrain wear. These drivetrains were never designed for e-bikes, they're designed for regular pedal bikes. So we do go through a lot of wear and tear on them. Thus we need to stay on top of cleanliness and maintenance. Now, traditional oil that we've used for years on our chains attract dirt. And dirt turns into grinding compound, posing tons of wear on your cassette, your chain, and your chain ring up front. With traditional chain oil, after every ride, you got to get that grinding compound out of there. Otherwise, things just won't work right and wear really quickly. So that means you got to get out the chain scrubber, the brush, and the degreaser and go to town on it. Very time consuming, but something you have to do if you're running the oil. Now with chain waxing, none of that post-ride cleaning is necessary. Nothing sticks to your chain, nothing sticks to your driveline. It just stays lubricated and clean. Now here's my drivetrain, and as you can see, it looks pretty clean. This has about 1,200 miles on the chain, and that cassette has about 2,000 miles on it. And all I've done is wipe it down with a terry cloth after each ride, and it just stays nice and clean. Now, as I mentioned, this chain has about 1,200 miles on it. So I'm going to check it to see if it's worn out yet. We used a Park Tool CC4 chain checker. And basically, if this end piece right here goes in, it's worn. So I'm going to check it here. Kind of hard to do it with one hand. Oh, it went in. So going in like that, this chain is worn out. So I got about 1,200 miles out of this chain. So it's time to change it. So let's go over how to prep a new chain for waxing and how to wax it. So here we have my brand new chain. Now make sure when you buy a new chain that you buy it from your local bike shop or from a good online store. Avoid Amazon. There is a lot of counterfeit stuff on Amazon. They have no control over that. So you could get a chain that is made in China that doesn't meet up to standards that we need on our EMTBs. Okay, so I've removed the links off the new chain to match the old chain. You can see right here, the chain on the right is the old chain. The chain on the left is the new one. How much longer the old one is. That's just from wear on the links. That's all it is. The pins have worn and it's actually grown that much from the wear. So the first thing we're going to need to do is clean this chain really well. We need to remove all the shipping oil that is on it. The wax can't stick to any of these oils or greases that come on the chains. So to do that, first thing we'd need is a good jar that we can put our cleaners into. First cleaner we're going to use is some mineral spirits. This will strip all the grease and oil right off of that chain and get it nice and clean. The second cleaner we're going to use is some acetone. This will dry off the chain, get rid of any leftover mineral spirits, and make sure that it's pristine and ready for the wax. So we're going to take our chain and put it in our jar here, and then make sure it lays nice and flat. And then we're going to add our mineral spirits in here. Try to get enough in there to cover the chain. There we go, that should be about enough. And now basically all we need to do is give us some good swirlies. Just swirl it around a little bit to agitate it. We'll get that mineral spirits in there and start cleaning out that grease. We can reuse these mineral spirits on several chains. So after I'm done cleaning the chain, I just pour the mineral spirits right back into the can again for use on the next one. Okay, so now we're going to use the acetone. We'll pour that in, and this will get rid of any residual mineral spirits and get the chain ready for the wax to stick to it. And same thing as we did with the mineral spirits, we'll just give this thing a good shake, make sure that it's agitated real well, and get it all cleaned up and ready. And same thing as before, we're going to take this acetone and reuse it again. So we'll pour it back into the can and have it ready for the next chain. Okay, next thing you're going to need is a designated crock pot. I got this one at Walmart. I think it was Walmart. It was like 10 bucks, 12 bucks, really inexpensive. And this will be exclusively used just for melting your hot wax. So the wax that I use is made by a company called Silca, S-I-L-C-A. And I've chosen this one because it has a high concentration of tungsten disulfide and some other chemicals in it that seem to work well with the added torque from our e-bikes. So I've taken my nice clean chain and I've attached it to some wire here. This will enable me to dip the chain into the wax without getting my fingers burned. So I've turned my crock pot on low. You want to keep it on low, you don't want to put it on high. And then before the wax starts melting, I just set the chain on top of the hard wax. What this does is as the wax heats up, it also heats up the chain slowly so that by the time the wax is nice and liquid, the chain is heated up and expanded so all those nooks and crannies are open and ready to accept the wax inside of it. It's been about 30 minutes and wax is nice and melted, and we'll give the chain a little stir, just make sure everything gets in the nooks and crannies. And now I want to shut off the crock pot. I want to allow the wax to dry a little bit before we pull the chain all the way out. That way the wax sticks to it instead of running right off. Now that I've pulled the chain out of the crock pot, I'm just going to hang it and allow it to cool. This will take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, and the wax will harden up. Once the wax dries, the chain will be really stiff, so you have to break all those bonds and get it nice and pliable again. I found that pipe on the garbage can here works absolutely perfectly for this. Just run it past it a few times and gets your chain nice and pliable again, and now it is ready to put on your bike. Alright, so that's basically all there is to chain waxing. I re-wax my chain about once a month. Now, I do ride about 5 days a week, so it's quite a bit of riding. You don't have to go through the cleaning procedure again. All you do is throw the chain into the crock pot and then put it back on your bike, and that's it, really. So in between your chain waxing, if you've ridden in the rain or you've had some creek crossings or something like that, your chain will get a little dirty and from the dirt and stuff. You don't have to necessarily clean it, just wipe it off with a terry cloth, microfiber, and then apply some drip wax on it. The drip wax will basically strengthen up your waxing in between crockpot sessions. Alrighty, thanks for watching. And waxing, I understand it's not for everybody. For me, it works out great. And actually, it takes less time than it would to re-oil and then wash my chain, scrub my chain after every ride. So I personally think it's better. I've experienced much longer life out of my cassette than my chain ring. Chain a little bit better. I'm up to 1,200 miles instead of 1,000, but the cassette has doubled its life. So for me, it's worked out really well. Alrighty, so until next time, this is Tony from NorCal E-Trail Riders. Have a good one, and we'll see you on the trail.